Okay, Baruch Hashem. So we are going ahead with a new Seder in Shirat David. I'm making the shir kilo like there's 1,000 people here. Elef Anoshim. Hashem. The Rishus of Rav Shlomo. Usually there's a few more guys, but everyone's got things going on with their babies and their kids and their Pesach cleaning, even though it's not Pesach. Baruch Hashem. All the different tuitzim, you know. But the main Nekuda is we're learning, and it says in Parshat Tazria we have to be melamed schus am Yisrael and speak good of Klal Yisrael. Ach tov Yisrael. So we're going to be melamed schus. As not only are they busy, but they're also Pri Tzaddick is something which people get nervous about to learn because it's quite a high sefer, a lot of Zohar, and he was a goin in Kol Torah Kula, Rav Tzaddock HaCohen, Zchus Aleinu. So we're going to do our best as we introduce our first shir together. It's really started with Rav Daniel Vizel. I started learning. You want to join? Welcome. So 10 minutes we're doing. So the idea that Rav Tzaddock is such a goin in Torah and Kol Torah Kula, but what was the chiddush with him is he brought it into Chassidus. He brought it into a meeting place. Here's where we're learning. Parshat Tazria. I'll just make it short, not too long. There's a meeting place of all the Balei Machshava, all the different Tzaddikim of Torah before him. And there was a special time, as the 1840 podcast we know about. It was a special date of Gilui of Chachmas HaTorah that Rav Tzaddock tuned into and was able to be the sino, the pipeline for tremendous ruby of Penimis HaTorah, especially being that he came from such an illustrious Gaonish background. But once he connected himself with Izbitcher, who was his main Rebbe, and also his Chavrusa with Levi, he was able to really tap into the sinos, the pipelines of Penimis HaTorah. So we're only going to do one small section here, but it's a very good insight to Rav Tzaddock, this Torah, how we're beginning Parshat Tazria, because we're tuning into a foundational concept, how Shabbos Kodesh, because this is on the Parsha, and Parshat Tazria is all about Nega Tzaras, and how Shabbos Kodesh is the refuah. It gives the tikkun, the eitzah, how by us keeping the Shabbos, we get the ability to heal ourselves from the nega and turn it into oneg. Oneg is the same osius. It's a very popularized concept, but when you see it in Rav Tzaddock and you see the Makoris, how he's able to fly through Kol Torah Kula. So everyone here can help me with learning, because this is also a lot of Aramaic, a lot of Panemius, and we all need Sata D'Shmaya when we're learning Zohar and Panemius Svarim, how to understand exactly what Rav Tzaddock was trying to give over from it. So let's begin. So that's the famous Zohar. Yeah, that means faithful shepherd, but it's a gili from ShBGevorah, Moshe Rabbeinu's the faithful shepherd. So it came through with ShBGevorah and into the Zohar. Amma b'sholosh Seudah Shabbos. He says there's 3 Seudos on Shabbos. Raza da Oneg na yotze me'eden v'gomer. Now, if anyone recognizes those 3 words, we say that on Kayaksov. Yeah, Kayaksov is a famous niggun. We sing Shabbos. So the 3 Seudos of Shabbos is a secret of the Oneg, that the river goes out from Eden. Now, we should all straight away realize that Na and Eden, including the word Gan, which he doesn't complete the full concept, are Rosh Tevis Oneg. If Oneg is Rosh Tevis Eden, comes out from Eden, the Na, the river, and it pours into where? The Gan. So that's the correct form of the ayin is on the beginning of the word. And I had the merit to learn my Rebbe's farm. My Rebbe, actually his father was a descendant from Talmidim of the Chos of Lublin, and was from Lublin, and also from Rav Tzaddock was Talmidim. So he had a Masorah from his father, but he's also the Tolna Rebbe. The Tolna Rebbe is my Rebbe, and he has a beautiful Torah on this Parsha, which explains that the ayin represent the anayim, the eyes, how we view things, how we are able to perceive and kaim our oneg Shabbos. If we're able to make a kiyum of how we keep oneg Shabbos, then the Shabbos will turn this nega into oneg, and the ayin will be in its proper place, which is the Eden Na Gan. That's the concept, Rosh Tevis Oneg, instead of nega, which is, we know nega means a form of blemish or pagam from the saras, from the fact we didn't. One, he says we didn't keep Shabbos, that's what my Rebbe says, but properly we didn't keep the Kaim the Oneg fully. But another nakuda is we didn't use the eyes properly, and we saw blemish in other people, and then through that, not being in the heichal schus, not being in the realm of merit, we fell into a place where we were judging people, and that causes this nega, and that brings us to Tzaras. Okay, so that's where we're holding here. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay, so let's go weiter. Kain kasavet tikunim. He says, "Man de'es le lo mekayem le." This hafach le nega tzaras. So this is a concept that he's bringing from the tikunim as another form, later part of the Zohar, that there is a mekayem in it, and it turns around the nega tzaras. That's what Oneg does. So that already we should be realizing that the Zohar is pushing this famous concept towards us of bringing us into. He's going to say it beferish now. And that's another sefer, but talks about the heicholim. There's different higher chambers in Shemayim, in heaven, and heichel schus. Heichel schus. My Rebbe actually, my other Rebbe was Shimon Zuberberg from back in the day. I used to have it here. I don't know where it is, but he has a whole sefer called Dan Lechav Schut, and it's all giving us inspiration how to connect more to the heichel schus. People learn Shmir Saloshin. Hashem had discussed many times to go through Chafetz Chaim. You go through Shmir Saloshin and you go through all the halachas, and you work on your dibur, and to fix your dibur. But the real panemius of it is to work on heichel schus, which is to get yourself into a realm where you're in this higher chamber, which is the place of merit, where everything is coming out the tova. You're only looking for the schut, for the merit of Am Yisrael. Heichel schus akrei oneg. And heichel schut is considered after was what we called oneg. The v'hai asa kad ayel shabsa misadrin kol pesure divnei alma da'akru. So MENACHEM I happened to be learning from my Rebbe yesterday, and he had the same Zohar, and I did my best to translate it from him, and I'll do my best now. That this is after the kad ayel in the Shabbos by us being elevated from Shabbos, and the way we keep the Seudas, that we're able to be a pasro de b'nei alma da'akru. We get into this place of the world of heichel schus. The people become in that world of heichel schus. So really, what happens Shabbos is we enter Eliyahu Lamas, the worlds go up, and if we're tuned into the oneg, everything goes up back to the way it's supposed to be, which is oneg is Eden Na Gan, where the Hashem is bringing down a shefer of chesed and kindness and pleasure and all the good things He wants to give to Am Yisrael, and we're tuned in. And Shabbos, we're tuning in through the Oneg of Shabbos, through eating Seudah Shabbos properly, having the right mindset, talking about the right things. We're experiencing Shabbos, and we're in this elevated experience, this true reality of this world of heichel schus, where everything is good. So that obviously Memela will get rid of the nega. We'll have no shaykhs, even in that reality. Malka. This is the chamber of the queen. Kad pasora deva nashla kaima v'sidra onuga v'chuli. Not ilay va'ali v'hai asad dayib v'hafcha min dad dekri nega. See, he says it beferish in the Zohar. Rav Tzaddock brings it that by us being in this higher chamber of the queen, that's Shabbos Malkus. Besides the Barnosh, that the people are able to keep the Seudas properly in the Oneg, and it takes them out and elevates them away from and transforms from this concept of Nega. Inan Shala Seudah Shabbos, Hey Moshi Tevis Oneg. Here we go, it says Beferish. Eidan Nar Gan. Yeah, the three Seudas of Shabbos is connected Oneg. Eidan Nar Gan. Kamosh Kamavar Bazar Kodesh brings another Zar Kodesh. Hey Mekane Kedusha Shalshas Avos. Now, this is something which is just very big yesod in everything Rav Tzaddock teaches, and it's also, if you would trace it back, it would be something which was very common by Hasidim, especially to sing a Skina Sudosa, which has in it the tefillas of the Arizal, the prayers and the zmiros of the Arizal HaKadosh, and from that we tap into this concept of these three Seudas of Shabbos. How, it's brought in Gemara Shabbos, the connection between the Avram Yitzchak Yaakov and the three Seudas of Shabbos, Nachlas Yaakov Evicha v'chulu. You go to Gemara Shabbos, talks about the three Seudas, how it saves you from Hevlei Mashiach and Hevlei Gehenim, and also Gog and Magog. It saves you from three Saras, and it's connected Avram Yitzchak Yaakov, and they are the opposite of that, because they're getting rid of Taiva, Kina, Kovid. We're going to see that, and that gets. It's a theme Rav Tzaddock goes through. Every Shabbos has a power to save you from negativity and bring you into a place of Avram Yitzchak, which is a Heichel Eschus, which is this high level of Oneg, which is what he's talking about here. And these are connected to the three holy merits of our father, Avram Yitzchak. Remember, everyone has within them that Nakuda, and if you learn Tanya, because remember, Rav Tzaddock's bringing all the Sfarim into one place. So you're learning Tanya, you already know that you have a chelik of Avram Yitzchak within you. We daven every day, it's part of us. Now, we remember, we're learning Tazria Metzorah. It's a double Parsha this week. So Metzorah, the Metzorah goes out, gets sent out from those three camps, Sheis Yisrael. Machne Yashar, Machne Levi, Machne Sheichnah. There's three camps that we went through the Midbar, but we've been learning about, and we're going to be learning more throughout Vayikra, but more in my Midbar, Sefer Midbar. We're going to talk about these three camps, and we know that the center one is the Machne Sheichnah, which is where the Mishkan and the Kelim of the Beis Hamikdash and the Sheichnah was Shoreh, and then you have Machne Levi, and then you have Machne Yisrael. Machne Sheichnah yesh reshus l'chol kohanim l'kanes l'sorech avoda. And why do we enter into this place called the Machne Sheichnah? The only one who can do it, the permission is by the Kohanim. All the Kohanim are able to enter such a place. What? To do avodas Hashem, to do the korbanos, v'chulu v'chulu. So, I know this whole sefer is called Torah's Kohanim, famously, based on Midrashim, based on the fact that it's all the halachas of Kohanim are pretty much in Sefer Vayikra, and we're in a place we're learning with Rav Tzaddock HaCohen. He was a Kohen. I'm also a Kohen. My son's a Kohen. Baruch Hashem. So we're in this place. We're entering into this place called Mokum Avoda of the Machne Sheichnah. V'yesh Kodesh HaKadoshim, and we know there's Kodesh Kadoshim. There's the Holy of Holies. Ein Rishus Kanes Rak LeKohen Gadol B'Yom Kippurim. And this is a common concept that everyone knows, that the Kohen Gadol can only go into this Kodesh Kadoshim at the time of Yom Kippur. So that we know this concept of there's the Mokum, the place. There's that's Olam. Then there's the Nefesh. There's the Shana, the time, that's Yom Kippur, and there's the Nefesh, which is Rosh Tevis Oshem, another Rosh Tevis. Good way to remember. But the Kohen Gadol goes in the Olam, in the place of Kodesh Kadoshim at the time of Yom Kippur, and he's the Nefesh of the Kohen Gadol, who's only allowed to be in such a place. Who Keneged Atika, and now this is already something beyond me, most of this is honestly, but this concept of Atika Kedisha, we learn about this, and Arizal, as we mentions this concept of Atika in the Seudot of Shabbos and in the Skin Sudosa, Atika Kedisha, K'mo Shema B'Zohar Kodesh, Asa Dakri Kodesh Kadoshim Hu Ein Shehu Atika. So exactly what that means. So there's this Atik is translated as ancient, but it's not really a good translation. It's obviously something much more panemius. That after we call this Kodesh Kadoshim, there's no more Atika. The Kedushas Machnas Keneged Kedushas Shalosh Avos, and the three holy levels of the camp of Yisrael are Keneged the three Avram Yitzchak, our forefathers, patriarchs. Machne Sheichnah Keneged Avram Avinu Alav Shalom Shuhai Rishon Shatchil the Horid Sheichnah La'aretz. So Avram Avinu was the first one to bring the Sheichnah to the world. It's very important to know that he was the first Yid to really bring the Sheichnah to the world. We talked about it in Parshas in Shmini, and this concept all the way back further when we mentioned the Yom Shmini was the first day the Sheichnah came into the world through the Mishkan. But we also know that the Sheichnah came into the world, and that was Rosh Chodesh Nisan. But the Sheichnah came into the world also at the time of Avinu. Right? It says by Avram and Sarah. There's lots of riots for it. The Sheichnah was by them. Like the fact the bread, they had the Inyan of Lechem upon him already. By then, the bread was good, fresh the whole week. It says by when the transition between Sarah and Rivka, there's lots of hints to this concept of Sheichnah. I mean, you learn it even in Cheder. Remember that? Yeah, the bread didn't go bad during the week, and the Ner Tamid, the Shabbos Licht was there, and the Shabbos candles. There's lots of remozim to the Sheichnah was sure by the oil of Avram Avinu, by the tent. In fact, he was the Ish Chesed, and he was Domer to Hashem in that way. He became a supernal Sefirah of Chesed. So he was on a place of bringing the Sheichnah into the world, and he was the first to do so. Lahoret Sheichnah la'aretz. It says in Tehillim, Ata Kohen la'olam, and he was a Kohen forever. Because Kohen, we know, we've already learned in other Sfarim, and one of the ones that stands out is with Tanya again. The Tanya talks about that the Kohen is always connected to chesed, it's kindness, and that's the Indian of Avram Avinu, which he was the Kohen la'olam, he was Kohen forever, and that's connected Machane Sheichnah. Shemiyuchad l'Kohanim. This was set aside for the Kohanim. The Machane Levi connected Kedusha YITZCHAK. And the camp of Levi was connected the holiness of YITZCHAK Avinu, alav shalom, Kamosh Vavazar Kodesh, Din Mesitra de Levi. So we know that Din, this concept of Gevurah, of judgment, which is the sphere we're in right now, during Sefirah Seudah, this is connected the Levium. Levium is the Gevurah. And YITZCHAK Avinu was a Baal Mochomis. He was a Ish Gevurah. Yeah, he was someone who gave everything up for Hashem, Chol Nafshecha. And he was a Pachad YITZCHAK. He was connected to Din and Gevurah. V'Yisrael and Levi l'Satra Smula, and that's on the left side. YITZCHAK Avinu, alav shalom, Makava l'Midus Gevurah, Pachad YITZCHAK. See, it says what I said. I got it from him. The Makava, he was the, as we're saying now, that he's bringing a lot of lashon. That's very, each thing means a lot. The fact he's in Makava means he was a chariot, means he was on a level of pure Gevurah of the highest level. In terms of Sefirah Elionim, emanations from Hashem, he became a Merkava. He was the epitome of what meant for human beings to reach a divine level of Gevurah. Machne Yisrael Nega Tzaras Yachavinu alav shalom. Shemitasa Shlema Zokul Kedushas Machne Yisrael. So Yachavinu, he was on the level. He's Machne Yisrael. Why? Because his bed chambers were complete. He had, shleimus of kedusha and tahara, which we're going to be talking about next week with the Sefirah of Yaakov. The idea that he was on a level, where he was able to bring down the neshamas of Yisrael, of the 12 tribes, and be the one to become Yisrael, from Yaakov to Yisrael. Zokel kedusha machne Yisrael. He was zokel to the holiness of Yisrael. We're just going to do to the end of this paragraph. Hainu sheyesh kedusha b'chol Yisrael, and there was holiness in all of Yisrael. Hu habricha tichon, mebricha min akatze ala katze. This is a famous concept that we mentioned already when we talked about the Mishkan in Parshas Truma, also Parshas V'Yakal. This middle beam that went around the Mishkan, this is it went from side to side. So, we're seeing the Bekiyas of Torah already from Rav Tzaddock, that he's just bringing it from everywhere. But this concept that this is the middle pillar that pulled everything together in the Mishkan. And Yaakov Avinu, he's that middle Sefirah, he's that middle divine emanation. Yaakov is the outcome from Avram and Yitzchak, and that's why we need all three Seudas of Shabbos. We have the night Seudah, the day Seudah, and we have Shabbos Seudas. This third Seudah, that's Yaakov Avinu. He's going to get there in a minute, I think. And that's the one who brings together everything, and that's the middle pillar that brings the Mishkan into its formation. And it was a miracle how it went around the walls of the Mishkan, within them. Within the wood, it went through all the pillars, all the amudim. It went through, and it was able to turn round without, in a miraculous way. This middle thing. Na yotzem Eden lahashkas etzagan, and the na goes out from Eden and gives what would be the hashkas to give nourishment. No, there's a better word for that. Lahashkas, to bountifulness. I don't know, to feed the garden. To hashkas. I don't know how to say it in English. It's the water, the garden. Eden shekol hanelem ein ased dakri kodesh kedoshim. In Eden, and that was hidden, that not everyone could be called the Holy of Holies. And now we're learning in Tazria, Mitzorah, that this person who spoke Lashon Hara is getting pushed out of all three of those. From Avram, Yitzchak, what's going to be with that guy? He's not with the three machanas of Sheichnah, Levi, and Yisrael. It seems like he has no chelik in the portion of Yisrael. And we just said Pirkei Avos, we talked about it from Rav Shlomo Katz Shirat Shabbos, that everyone has a chelik in Yisrael. Yeah, we're all tzaddikim, and Yisrael Pa'eh, we're a glorious nation. Yeah, we say it every Shabbos, Be'ez Hashem, during the summer. Shemhaki b'chazi, Shamaloi Elisha v'saras Ne'eman v'goma adolam. And because we know about Gechazi now, this is B'kiyas Torah. This is like one paragraph. It's flying everywhere. We know about Gechazi. Gechazi, he was the gabbai from Elisha, like the attendant. And there was Saras for Naaman. He was the mensch, for the general from Jordan or wherever it was. Yeah, he was the general over there. So he had Saras. He was coming to Elisha to get refuah, and it wasn't a Jew, Naaman, interestingly. So, but he came. They were Mamin and Tzaddikim and Nevi'im, and it was a known thing that if you want to get, to come to this tzaddik, even the non-Jews knew. Come to the Novi Elisha and he'll give you a refuah. But Gechazi, he was a bit of a character himself. He ended up with Saras himself and his sons. There's a famous Haftorahs, we read about it. Those 4 Metzorim, they were him and his sons. They were outside the camp. Yeah, because this is what happens. They get pushed out of the camp, and Gechazi. I think he ended up Saras forever because of the way that whole story, how he treated it. Huh?
So he says.
Yeah. The Gechazi ended up with Saras forever. So that was because of the way he tried to make money out of the whole story. Naaman, and there was a lot of Gabbai Mises. I don't know, not good Gabbais. There's good Gabbai, but he wasn't a good Gabbai. When I used to travel with Rabbonim, with Tzaddikim, with Shalom Morish, and the big Tzaddikim used to travel, I had the schus to go and talk with them and stuff. So the people used to say, "You the Gabbai?" I said, "Chas v'sholom, I don't want to be a Gabbai. Look at the Gechazi. Call me a Menal or something else, a manager or something. I don't want to be a Gabbai. I get nervous when I see Gechazi." Hainu sheyeh mishluach la'olam machne Yisrael. Almost finished, and he sent them out forever from machne Yisrael. So it seems like they have no chelik Yisrael. Chashvu b'klal she'ein lehem chelik l'am haba. They have no portion in the world to come. She'ein b'klal he brings the Lashon. And they are not included, and this is going to be a question, Amei kulam tzadikim. L'olam yarshu eretz mizeh lamdu shekol Yisrael yesh lahem chelik l'am haba. Yeah, but wait a minute. We just said Amei kulam tzadikim. Everyone's righteous, and everyone's going to inherit the land. Please God, inherit Yisrael right now. Baruch Hashem. Mizeh lamdu shekol Yisrael yesh lahem chelik l'am haba, and everyone has a chelik l'am haba. The Shabbos, there's ways to fix it. Yeah. Shabbos ba atara ba'avon misadrim besuri da'akri b'nei heichola. So what happens is Shabbos comes, this crown, and it comes and from the Seudas that we keep, and it brings us into this place b'nei heichola, this place of schus. Shemhachi ame shemi she'einu mekayim ashar Seudas is hafchalei lenega tzaras. And if we're and for those who are able to mekayim those 3 Seudas, we're able to turn around the nega tzaras. And if not, the ones that don't, they're the ones who get pushed out the machane, like Gechazi. So the whole Nakuda of Amei Kulam Tzadikim, and it makes sense. When do we say it? After Mincha Shabbos. Hopefully by that point we're at a point of we're keeping all 3 Seudas of Shabbos, and we're at a madreg of Amei Kulam Tzadikim. That we are included in the 3 machanas of Shabbos, of Sheichnah, Levi, Yisrael, a part of Avram Yaakov. Now, my Rebbe, I'm just going to throw this in to end off. My Rebbe ended off and said, but his whole Torah was on Malava Malka. And he says, Dovid Hamelech is the 4th Seudah, is Malava Malka. And he comes for all the schleppers like Gechazi, and all these people that seem to be chutz memachne from the 3 Seudah of Shabbos. And he comes and he's able to teach us how to do tshuva. He's the one who's choter. We're not really, only for us to learn the whole Indian of tshuva. So Dovid Hamelech comes Malava Malka, and his whole Indian obviously is Malkus, is Shabbos Malkus. He's the whole bechina of Malkus, bringing everyone to the true understanding of what we just learned about Oneg, and he's the epitome of that. And yet, his difference between him and Avram Yaakov is he's able to go down. His chevra were the more lower chevra. He was able to go down because of his humility and pick up everybody. And that's the hope, that even those who seem to be chutz machane, they don't know about Shabbos, but comes along Dovid Melech Malchus Mashiach, and he'll bring us all back into the machane, and back into Amei Kulam Tzadikim, and back into the Nakuda of Nega turned to Saras, to Oneg, not to Saras, to Oneg. Amen, Amen.